Welcome to the ultimate daily comic glitch YouTube Shorts compilation of Marvel vs. DC. Rapid-fire battles, pure power analysis, and back-to-back face-offs that pit the most iconic heroes from both universes against each other. No fluff, just raw facts. Blue Marvel gained powers from a negative zone reactor, exposing him to antimatter, creating a human antimatter reactor, able to manipulate negative matter. His strength exceeds Class 100. He's tanked blows from Sentry, and can fly at incredible speeds. His intellect as a physicist and marine enhances his tactical use of antimatter. Firestorm draws power from the Firestorm Matrix, which fused Ronnie Rayburn and Martin Stein. He can manipulate atomic structures, transmute, and project nuclear energy. He's turned air into metal, neutralized chemical weapons, and absorbed nuclear explosions. Firestorm's transmutation relies on understanding atomic compositions, and his cognitive load increases during combat due to dual consciousness, especially if the Matrix isn't in full sync. Firestorm would try to destabilize his antimatter structure, but Atom's negative zone energy is immune to nuclear manipulation. Firestorm could create a null matter field or use neutron dispersion, but that requires time and precision. With his antimatter blast disrupting matter at the quantum level, faster reflexes, and superior durability, Blue Marvel would strike with precision, overwhelming Firestorm. Blue Marvel's superior power wins. Captain Atom's body is bonded to the Dillastel metal, making him a direct conduit of the quantum field. He has demonstrated atomic reconstruction after total disintegration, elemental transmutation of entire objects and beings, and time manipulation to the point of erasing events from history. He has absorbed a universe-destroying blast from Major Force and once threatened to collapse the multiverse by becoming unstable. Hyperion has survived the collapse of his universe, held 2 planets apart with brute force, killed Namor with a single punch, and dismembered celestial-level beings like the Beyonders. Pause. He can move at relativistic speeds, emit atomic heat vision capable of melting adamantium-like materials, and survive direct strikes from Mjolnir. However, all of Hyperion's abilities stem from solar absorption, which Captain Atom can drain or neutralize. In a battle, Captain Atom can phase through Hyperion's physical attacks, absorb his energy blasts, and disrupt his molecular cohesion through quantum destabilization. Even if Hyperion manages to destroy Atom's physical form, Atom can reassemble himself from pure energy. Captain Atom conclusively wins through superior energy control, subatomic precision, and command of space-time itself. Captain Atom vs. Dr. Manhattan, a battle of nuclear titans. Captain Atom gained his powers through a U.S. Air Force experiment where he was encased in alien Dillastel metal and exposed to a nuclear explosion. This hurled him into the quantum field, granting him energy absorption, atomic transmutation, matter manipulation, flight, time travel, and near-limitless durability. He can even become a living nuclear bomb, reform after disintegration, and shift between timelines. There are risks of destabilizing his body or triggering a multiversal rupture. Dr. Manhattan was atomized in a lab accident and later reconstructed himself with complete quantum awareness. He possesses absolute control over matter and energy, non-linear time perception, teleportation, duplication, immortality, precognition, and reality manipulation. While Captain Atom is powerful, he remains tethered to human psychology and military structure, often needing to restrain his powers under government orders. Dr. Manhattan, unbound by morality or time, views existence as a continuum he can rewrite, effortlessly dismantling beings at the atomic level, including Captain Atom in Doomsday Clock number 12. Manhattan's autonomy, conceptual awareness, and ability to ignore physical and temporal laws. Dazzler versus Plastic Man. Who will win in this ultimate Marvel vs. DC showdown? Dazzler, aka Allison Blair, can convert sound into light energy, create laser beams, dazzling strobe lights, and hard light constructs from her mutant ability. Her lasers bore through steel and collapse concrete structures with ease. Plastic Man, aka Patrick O'Brien, possesses a hyper-elastic body due to a chemical accident from a heist. He can elongate, compress, and shapeshift into various objects, making him versatile. His form is impervious to bullets, blades, and extreme temperatures. Plastic Man can absorb and disperse energy, rendering light-based attacks ineffective against him. Even if Dazzler maximizes her energy output, Plastic Man's durability allows for instant regeneration. Dazzler's ability is exhaustible, and she lacks enhanced durability, making her vulnerable. Plastic Man's durability and rapid regeneration make him the overwhelming winner of this epic Marvel vs. DC battle. Richard Rider's life changed forever when Roman Day, a high-ranking centurion of the Nova Corps, picked Richard to receive the Nova Force and a link to the Xandarian Worldmind AI as his final dying act. Rider instantly received strength, flight, energy projection, and access to Xandarian knowledge. He was eventually brought to Xandar, where he helped the Nova Corps repel the Skrull Empire. He had the powers removed after a few missions, until Annihilus launched a massive invasion of the main Marvel universe. Richard's powers were restored. Xandar was completely destroyed along with the Nova Corps, and the Xandarian Worldmind uploaded itself and the entire Nova Force into Richard's body, becoming the living embodiment of the Nova Corps. Richard took command in the Resistance. Annihilus had acquired the quantum bands and wielded cosmic energy capable of challenging the strongest forces in the universe. Richard engaged him in direct combat, pushing both fighters to their limits. Richard surged with power, forcing open Annihilus's jaws and tore him apart from the inside. It was one of the most brutal victories in Marvel cosmic history. From that point forward, he was no longer a teenage superhero in over his head. He was Nova Prime, one of the most powerful non-cosmic entity heroes in the Marvel Universe. David Howler's life was a lie, a web of confusion and chaos that kept him in the dark about who he truly was. From a young age, David believed he was just a troubled child plagued by voices and personalities he couldn't control. The truth, however, was far darker. His mind wasn't fractured by illness. It was a prison of his own making, created by his overwhelming mutant powers. David's mind was host to dozens of personalities, each with its own power. But the real terror came from the Shadow King, a malevolent psychic entity. The Shadow King had been lurking in David's mind, trying to take full control of his body. Farouk, the Shadow King, used David's fractured psyche as a gateway to escape, manipulating him to weaken his will and take over every destructive act. Every moment of confusion had been caused by his powers, not a mental disorder. The real battle was only beginning, as David fought to reclaim control over his mind and stop the Shadow King from taking what was left of him. Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, takes on the Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus. Who wins? Jason Rush became Firestorm after the Firestorm Matrix bonded with him. He can transmute matter at a subatomic level, generate and absorb vast amounts of energy, phase through objects, and even create nuclear explosions. His intellect and adaptability make him one of DC's most dangerous energy manipulators. The Silver Surfer, once Norrin Rad, was granted the power cosmic by Galactus. He can manipulate energy on a universal scale, transmute matter, fly at faster than light speeds, and is nearly indestructible. Jason's transmutation powers are impressive, but the Surfer's control over his own molecules and cosmic awareness make him immune. The Surfer's superior speed, durability, and raw power allow him to overwhelm Firestorm before he can adapt. The Silver Surfer wins.
Ronnie Raymond became Firestorm after a nuclear explosion fused him with physicist Martin Stein, binding them to the Firestorm Matrix. This transformation gave him control over matter at a molecular level, allowing him to transmute elements into different substances. He could turn lead into gold, reshape objects, and even alter the chemical composition of the air. Firestorm possessed energy absorption and projection capable of unleashing nuclear blasts and redirecting attacks. He could phase through objects by adjusting his molecular density and fly at supersonic speeds. His body was highly resistant to physical and energy-based attacks, making him extremely durable in combat. Guided by Martin Stein's scientific knowledge, Ronnie refined his powers, learning to manipulate atomic structures with precision. However, his abilities depended on the stability of the Firestorm Matrix. If disrupted, he could lose control or even separate from his fused form. Despite these challenges, Firestorm became one of DC's most powerful and versatile superheroes.
Lobo is a Zarnian with strength that rivals Superman, a healing factor that makes Deadpool look fragile, and a level of chaos that got him banned from both heaven and hell. He regenerates from a single drop of blood and has wiped out entire planets for fun. Spawn was resurrected by Malebolgia and granted necroplasmic armor, hellfire, and reality warping chains. He can summon demonic energy, teleport, and even manipulate time. But Spawn has a problem. Lobo isn't just immortal, he's been barred from dying. Heaven and hell refuses to take him, meaning no matter how much hellfire Spawn throws at him, Lobo always comes back. Necroplasm burns souls, but Lobo doesn't even have a place to go when he dies. He just keeps fighting. Lobo won't have an easy time killing Spawn either. Spawn's necroplasmic body means he can regenerate from almost nothing, and hell literally sent him to Earth so he wouldn't just die and return to Malebolgia. But Spawn's powers have limits. His necroplasm runs out, and if Lobo keeps tearing him apart over and over, eventually Spawn is left vulnerable. Spawn can dish out insane damage, but he can still die. Lobo can't. That's the difference. Lobo wins.
Meet Nathan Summers, also known as Cable, a time-traveling warrior with an apocalyptic destiny. Born to Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, Nathan was destined for greatness but cursed with tragedy. As a baby, he acquired the deadly techno-organic virus from Apocalypse, who saw him as a threat to his rule. Cyclops allowed the Ascani from the future to take Nathan to the 39th century to treat him. Raised in a war-torn future under by Mother Ascani, a future projection of Jean Grey, Nathan grew into a fierce warrior. His powerful telepathy and telekinesis was focused mainly on controlling the virus that was constantly attacking his body. Cable became a master strategist and fighter, with advanced weaponry and leading resistance forces against tyrants. His greatest enemy remained Apocalypse, but he also battled his clone Strife, created by Apocalypse, as well as Mr. Sinister, who had manipulated his birth for his own genetic experiments. Cable became a time-traveling soldier, fighting to prevent catastrophic futures, often clashing with the X-Men and other heroes when their ideals conflicted. Whether leading X-Force or going solo, he remained one of the Marvel Universe's most formidable warriors.
Time for another Marvel vs. DC beatdown.
Today we put Captain Atom against Sentry. Let's see who wins. Captain Atom's life changed during a nuclear experiment, changing him into a living nuclear reactor. Like a nuclear power plant, the energy his body produces gives him strength, durability, and many other abilities. Sentry gained his powers through an extreme version of the super soldier serum that turned Steve Rogers into Captain America. He is often described as possessing the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, granting him super strength, near invulnerability, and molecular manipulation. In a battle, Captain Atom would rely on his disciplined control of nuclear energy, while the Sentry would counter with raw, almost limitless power. As the fight escalates, Sentry's near-omnipotent energy would begin to overwhelm Captain Atom's controlled approach. Sentry's capacity to access a cosmic scale of power gives him a decisive edge. In the event Captain Atom gets the advantage, darkness would fall and Void would awaken, ending whatever advantage Captain Atom has. The Void is deadly darkness that Captain Atom has no answer for. It's this overwhelming and unpredictable power that tips the scales in favor of the Sentry. When it comes to the ultimate superhero showdown, few battles are as intriguing as Superman versus Sentry. Superman, born Kal-El on Krypton, was sent to Earth and gained extraordinary abilities under its yellow sun. He uses his powers to protect humanity and fight injustice. Sentry, or Robert Reynolds, gained immense strength, speed, and molecular manipulation from an experimental serum. However, his dark side, the Void, complicates matters with its reality-warping abilities. Both heroes possess godlike powers, but Sentry's molecular manipulation and regeneration give him an edge. Superman's experience and tactical mind are significant advantages, yet the Void amplifies Sentry's powers to terrifying levels. The clash between these titans would be a spectacle of raw power and strategy. Sentry would win this battle due to his manipulation of molecules. Superman doesn't have an answer for that. If Null killed Sentry, would Superman survive that fight?
Superman Prime 1,000,000 versus Franklin Richards, who will win? Superman alters his molecular structure by spending 15,000 years in a yellow sun. Now he can manipulate the quantum foam of reality and exists within and outside of time, controlling all forms of energy cosmically, including the fundamental forces of the universe. Franklin Richards is a powerful cosmic entity, son of Sue and Reed Richards. He can warp the fundamental building blocks of reality, including time as a construct. He has a wide range of powers from reanimating Galactus to time manipulation. His mind can manipulate cosmic energy fundamentals effortlessly, hindered only by his emotions. Superman's position outside of time would make things difficult for Richards, as well as his ability to manipulate fundamental cosmic forces. Franklin's reality warping manipulates time in a way that works Superman cannot counter, though. Superman forces a difficult fight, but his time powers aren't the same as Franklin's. Superman crumbles due to Richards' wider scale of powers. Richards wins. Superman versus Null. Let's find out who wins. Null is the god of the Void, an eldritch being who existed in the darkness before the birth of the universe itself. When the Celestials brought light into existence, Null waged war by forging the first all-black Necro sword from the head of a slain Celestial. He murdered Celestials and waged a war against creation itself. In exile, his symbiotes spread his control by enslaving entire civilizations in his darkness. His power? Beyond godly. He possesses superhuman strength, near invulnerability, immortality, and control over symbiotes, allowing him to corrupt and consume entire worlds. His Necro sword kills gods, and his ability to manipulate darkness and reality makes him one of the most dangerous beings. Superman is incredibly powerful, but against Null, it won't be enough. Sentry can beat Superman. When he challenged Null, he was ripped in half like paper. If Sentry can beat Superman, he is doomed. If Sentry fell that easily, Null would break his body, and in a gruesome display of dominance, tear Superman in half, just like he did to Sentry. Winner? Null. And with the Man of Steel gone, who's left to stop him? Null wins with little resistance.
Thor and Shazam, two gods of thunder from different universes, but who would actually win? Thor wields Mjolnir, granting him mastery over storms, strength, and near invulnerability. His power comes from Asgardian godhood, centuries of combat experience, and magical enhancements. Shazam is a mortal boy turned champion of magic, empowered by the gods, Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury, giving him wisdom, strength, durability, lightning, control, and super speed. Their powers seem similar, but there's one key difference. Thor's power is divine in nature, but not purely magical, while Shazam's is fully rooted in magic. Since Thor has resisted magic before, Shazam's lightning wouldn't necessarily harm him, but Thor's godly strength and Mjolnir's magical properties would let him go toe-to-toe with the young champion. The real deciding factor? Experience. Thor has fought for thousands of years against cosmic threats, while Shazam, despite his power, is still Billy Batson, a teenager with far less combat skill. Shazam might land some devastating blows, but Thor's endurance and sheer battle instincts would give him the edge. In the end, Thor takes the win.
Here's a countdown of the top 5 fastest speedsters in the DC universe. Number 5, Savitar, Cold War pilot, gained his powers from a lightning strike. His Speed Force connection gives him a strong healing factor and can share his speed. His abilities are formidable. Number 4, Godspeed. August Hart, a detective turned speedster, gained powers from a Speed Force storm, allowing him to steal speed, making him faster. Number 3, Reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne was the killer of Barry's mom. A 25th century scientist, fueled by the negative Speed Force, can time travel and manipulate reality. Number 2, Barry Allen, the Flash. Acquired his sped from being struck by lightning and can phase time travel and travel the multiverse. Number 1, Wally West, the Flash, the fastest speedster in the DC universe. His deep connection to the Speed Force allows him to achieve speeds beyond any other. These speedsters redefine the limits of speed, even outrunning death. Honorable mention Black Flash, the embodiment of death. For speedsters, Black Flash isn't considered a traditional speedster because he is an extension of the Speed Force. There you have it, the top 5 speedsters in the DC universe. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments.
Who prevails in a clash between DC's Amazo and Marvel's Super Adaptoid? Let's analyze it. Amazo, an android constructed by Professor Evo, can duplicate the powers, abilities, and even weapons of any superhero or villain. This includes powerhouses like Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash, making him an unbeatable force. Super Adaptoid, created by AIM, can also duplicate the abilities of its adversaries, including heroes like Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. It's an unyielding mimic designed to counter the Avengers themselves. But here's the crucial factor. Amazo doesn't just duplicate powers, he retains them, which means he can accumulate abilities over time. Super Adaptoid can only duplicate powers for as long as it's battling someone, giving Amazo a strategic edge in the long run. The victor? Amazo. With his ability to permanently absorb and combine abilities, he ultimately overcomes the Super Adaptoid.
Watchmen doesn't end with a hero saving the day, it ends with a massive lie. Ozymandias, believing he's saving humanity, teleports a genetically engineered squid-like creature into New York City. The psychic shockwave kills millions, tricking the world into thinking an interdimensional attack has begun. With nuclear war imminent, global superpowers unite against a common enemy, preventing mutual destruction. Dr. Manhattan, seeing the bigger picture, agrees that exposing the truth would undo this fragile peace. But Rorschach refuses to stay silent. Knowing he won't back down, Manhattan kills him to keep the secret safe. With nothing left tying him to Earth, Manhattan leaves the planet entirely, heading into the cosmos to create life. Meanwhile, Rorschach's journal containing the truth ends up in the hands of a small newspaper. Manhattan leaves that universe. The real question is, how will the DC universe end up when Manhattan's experiment ends?
Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel, 2 powerhouses, but who actually wins? Wonder Woman is a demigod, blessed by the Olympian gods with superhuman strength, speed, and durability. She's fast enough to keep up with speedsters and strong enough to fight Superman. She also has divine weapons, the lasso of truth, indestructible bracers, and a sword sharp enough to cut even gods. Captain Marvel is powered by cosmic energy. She absorbs and manipulates energy, flies at light speed, and has near unlimited stamina in her binary form. She's taken down massive warships and held her own against Thanos. In a fight, Wonder Woman has the edge in combat skill and weaponry, while Captain Marvel holds the advantage in raw energy projection and flight. Wonder Woman could deflect Captain Marvel's energy blasts with her bracers and counter with devastating sword strikes. But if Carol goes binary, she reaches a level of power that could overwhelm even Wonder Woman's godly endurance. If the fight stays grounded and up close, Wonder Woman wins with superior skill and divine weapons. But if Captain Marvel plays to her strengths, staying at a distance, using her speed, and going full binary, she takes the victory. Lobo versus base level Hulk. Who wins? Gamma radiation granted Bruce Banner limitless strength, a healing factor, and invincibility against high-caliber energy blasts. He is near invincible in the Marvel Universe. His durability is immense. Lobo is a bounty hunter whose strength has overcome Superman and others in the Justice League. He's come back from ash, a skeleton, and a drop of blood. He's tanked blows from cosmic beings, planet-destroying explosions, and once reformed from a puddle of goo. He heals completely and instantly, being explicitly banned from both heaven and hell, meaning death is literally not an option for him. Hulk starts strong and escalates over time. Lobo starts off already operating at top-tier strength with centuries of combat experience and zero restraint. Hulk could land serious blows and even temporarily incapacitate Lobo, but he wouldn't be able to finish him. Lobo has access to absurd weaponry, chain hooks that slice through steel and enjoys chaos. He's battled entire armies solo and tracked targets across galaxies without tiring. Hulk may be stronger in the long run if allowed to rage infinitely, but Lobo just can't die. Lobo wins through sheer immortality. Hulk dishes out over and over, but Lobo can't die. Nova versus Green Lantern, who is more powerful? Richard Rider operates at a cosmic scale. The Nova Force supplies a limitless energy field, and Richard absorbed the whole thing, allowing light speed travel, tanking black holes, and energy blasts that shreds fleets. The world mind regulates his body to handle the power without burning out. Hal Jordan's willpower can create constructs through his ring, which draws power from the central battery on OA. The ring can create barriers, weapons, tools, and teleportation fields limited only by imagination and focus. It automatically protects him from mortal harm, can translate languages, and has access to galactic intelligence. But the ring can run out of energy due to its finite source. Nova's power is internalized, self-sustaining, and backed by the analytical super AI of World Mind. Nova can overwhelm lantern shields. Against constructs, his speed and gravity manipulation give him the ability to collapse them mid-form. Hal's best defense is versatility, but Nova has raw destructive force, cosmic durability, and faster reflexes backed by an intelligence guiding every move. Nova's energy output and regeneration give him the edge. Green Lantern's willpower makes it a real fight, but ultimately, Nova drowns him in power he can't outlast. Nova wins. Plastic Man versus the Maker. An accident during a heist with an unidentified chemical caused a molecular structure mutation, creating Plastic Man. His body can stretch, flatten, and transform. He has survived being liquefied, shattered, and vaporized. He is functionally immortal and immune to psychic intrusion. The Maker, Reed Richards of Earth 1610, experienced a teleporter experiment accident mimicking effects of cosmic radiation, making his body elastic. His internal organs became non-organic fluid, granting him elasticity. The Maker can flatten, expand, and survive near destruction. His body can form bladed weapons, but retains a human brain. He has built multiversal technologies and manipulated cosmic phenomena. The Maker would approach Plastic Man with meticulous precision, but not understanding Plastic Man's true structure. Plastic Man is a singular polymorphic entity. The Maker's technology would be ineffective. Plastic Man can reform from a single droplet. The Maker, while durable, is not immune to total destruction. Plastic Man's resilience and adaptability give him the win.
Before he was the wisecracking, rubber-limbed wildcard, he was Eel O'Brien running small-time hustles on the streets, slipping in and out of jail. Everything changed the night he and his crew tried to rob the Crawford chemical plant. The alarms went off, shots were fired, and Eel took a bullet to the shoulder. He tried to escape, only to be abandoned by his crew and left behind like trash. He stumbled into a restricted lab, where he collapsed into a vat of unknown chemicals. It completely rewired him. His body changed on a molecular level, and his entire form became a living, stretchable organism. He was a freak, a monster, a walking joke. But then something unexpected happened. His mind began to shift too. The chemicals didn't just mutate his body, they altered how he saw the world. The criminal instincts were still there, but so was something new, a conscience, a second chance. Eel O'Brien died that night. What rose up was Plastic Man. Unpredictable, unbreakable, and for the first time in his life, ready to fight for something bigger than himself. He doesn't wear a cape and the other heroes don't know what to make of him. But when the world's about to fall apart, he's exactly the kind of crazy it needs.
Quantum fusion meets cosmic force. Firestorm versus Nova. Two minds fused together called the Firestorm Matrix gives Firestorm powers including flight, energy blasts, and the ability to rearrange matter atomically. But Nova isn't just a flying tank with lasers. His power comes from the Nova Force, directly fed by the Xandarian world mind Adad-Ikama with knowledge and combat, enhancing his strength, light speed travel, energy absorption, and gravimetric manipulation. Firestorm would try to transmute Nova's armor or disrupt his internal chemistry. But the Nova Force shields him with adaptive gravimetric fields that can deflect or absorb energy. Firestorm's main limitation is he can't transmute organic matter without intense mental strain and risk of destabilization. Nova's speed and deep space combat training give him the edge. He could overload Firestorm with gravimetric pressure. After a prolonged battle, Firestorm's mental fatigue, caused by managing nuclear reaction rates, elemental changes, and maintaining fusion stability, would wear him down. Nova, with World Mind's constant processing and battlefield adjustments, would eventually outmaneuver Firestorm. Winner Nova due to superior energy durability, combat AI, and immunity to Firestorm's most lethal tricks.
Reverse Flash is a 25th century scientist obsessed with Barry Allen. He recreated the experiment that gave the Flash his powers, generating his own connection to the negative speed force. This dark energy allows him to move faster than the speed of light, phase through matter, travel through time, and manipulate the timeline itself, erasing people from history or changing events without creating paradoxes. In contrast, Sosuke Aizen evolves beyond standard spiritual beings by merging with the Hogyoku, an object capable of granting wishes from the soul. This fusion gives him adaptive regeneration, invulnerability to most physical damage, and immortality like durability. His primary ability, Kyoka Suigetsu, controls all five senses through complete hypnosis by showing its release once. After that, he can manipulate an enemy's perception of reality without them realizing it. Aizen's spiritual pressure is so strong he can think of destroying an enemy and do it. However, despite Aizen's near-godlike evolution, Reverse Flash's ability to act before Aizen's perception even registers movement gives him the upper hand. Aizen has been still evolving into the time of the Thousand-Year Blood War. His spiritual pressure is so strong, he only needs to move a finger to destroy enemies. Aizen wins due to his ability to hypnotize and his power level.
Thor versus Black Adam, who would emerge victorious? Let's explore their abilities and decide a winner. Thor wields Mjolnir and commands lightning, storms, and immense strength. With Asgardian resilience, centuries of battle experience, and the Odin force when needed, Thor is nearly invincible. His hammer grants him the ability to fly, unleash devastating lightning bolts, and even control weather on a planetary scale. Black Adam possesses superhuman strength, speed, and endurance. His magical abilities make him formidable. His power is derived directly from divine magic, and his ruthless tactics make him a relentless combatant. Their abilities overlap in lightning manipulation and strength. Thor's lightning is rooted in Asgardian energy and cosmic power, while Black Adam's is purely magical, designed to challenge even the toughest adversaries. Thor's versatility and ability to call on divine enhancements give him an edge in prolonged combat, but Black Adam's raw magical power could keep him in the fight. Thor's experience, Mjolnir's versatility, and the Odin Force decide this battle. Thor claims the victory. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments.
Want to see something really weird? How about 20 weird mutants? Number 20, beak. Looks like a bird but can't fly. 19, maggot. 2 slugs digest food for him. 18, skin. Extra skin is his thing. 17, glob Herman. Hey guy, I can see your organs. 16, ice cream. Turns into ice cream. 15, zeitgeist, he vomits acid. Useful, yes. Gross, yes. 14, gold balls. Mutant egg balls shooting everyone. Oh. 13, ugly John. 3 ugly faces. 12, Kylan. Mimics sounds while getting beat up. 11, wraith. Stinky hallucinations. 10, tattoo. Her tattoos come to life now. 9, snot. Exploding snot. 8, Bailey Hoskins. One-time power because he explodes. 7, dupe. A floating green blob. 6, forget me not. I already forgot who he is. 5, long neck. Long neck. That's it. 4, jazz. Blue skin. No powers. 3, cipher. Translates any language while getting beat up. 2, chamber. Half face, half burning furnace. Number 1, Joseph. An emo clone of Magneto that doesn't remember being Magneto. What was Marvel even thinking?